Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, the God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it pick a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen him. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. Man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Even though we know he doesn't have much loyalty other than to his pocket or his wealth creation, given that he took the oath of office for our country, it is our right to ask Andrew Holness, who are you loyal to? Are you loyal to the people of Jamaica and the Constitution you swore to? Or are you loyal to Israel and Donald Trump agenda? Because a question I have been asking is now being answered. If Prime Minister Holness took place in the walkout at the United Nations against Benjamin Netanyahu, the question is now answered. No, the puppet sat in the room. No, the puppet sat in the room. We ought to be asking the question, where is this one-sided relationship with Andrew Holness and Benjamin Netanyahu? What does Andrew hold them? What do they have on Andrew Holness? Do you want your country to have a relationship with Israel? I'm sure most Jamaicans wouldn't approve of a relationship with Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. But Andrew Holness on his own is fostering that relationship. But then again, you can pinch yourself and say, but if Andrew Holness is running Jamaica like a family business, then it is expected of him, don't you think? Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Lovely to have your support, as always. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, new subscribers, good evening and welcome. Christopher Tufton said, but let us deal with the Gaza issue first. One big good evening, everybody. When I feel like the roll call this evening, accept my apology and my one big old good evening to everybody. Last year in the United Nations, a vote on the ceasefire, when it was time to vote, the Jamaican delegation was nowhere to be seen. And them tell when they were questioned on it, them tell us all sorts of a nasty story. They were having a conversation with this, they were having a conversation with that. Even though the people they claimed they were having a conversation with, why they didn't get to vote, those people voted. Now, this General Assembly just gone. If you never watch it, when Benjamin Netanyahu took to the stage at the United Nations, tons of country walk out. It is said that over 50 countries walked out. Not only that they walked out, they booed him as well. Not just that, they also use a part of their speech to call out and criticize the genocide in Palestine. None of us know what Jamaica's position is through our Prime Minister and the whole Palestine issue. We don't know what our government position is because all we ever meet upon is a wall of silence. And I've been asking the question from Woody about the PNP criticized them for not showing solidarity to Palestine. So a flimsy answer from Kamina Johnson Simmet, which, if it was in a different arena, I would answer with some bad word, but never mind, them are done already. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Kamina Johnson Simmet, says Jamaica decision to remain seated during the recent address to the United Nations by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is consistent with long-standing diplomatic practice. Don't ask me what foreign language is that, because I'm not able to translate bullshit. Never got foolish school. It is consistent with long-standing diplomatic practice. Are you saying it is a diplomatic practice of Jamaica to support genocide? Are you saying, Kamina Johnson Simmet, it's a practice of Jamaica to support the starvation of children? Are you saying it's a practice, a diplomatic practice of Jamaica to support the wanton murder of another group of people? Because if you're saying Jamaica sitting while Benjamin Netanyahu speak bare bullshit, went on a tirade for nothing, over nothing, went on many threats with the US taxpayers' money. And Andrew Holness and Kamina Johnson Simmet said it is long-standing diplomatic practice to sit down and listen to a moron. It is long-standing diplomatic practice to stand up, to sit down and listen to a genocidal murderer. What does that mean, Kamina Johnson Simmet? Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Kamina Johnson Simmet, says Jamaica's decision to remain seated during the recent address to the United Nations by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is consistent with long-standing diplomatic practice. Is Kamina Johnson Simmet then saying that those over 50 countries that walked out of the General Assembly when Benjamin Netanyahu was asked to make his presentation, are you saying those over 50 countries have broken long-standing diplomatic practice? And if it is Jamaica, what side would you be on? To sit down and support genocide, or to stand up and show that you are not a part of this? You're not giving a green light to the genocide. Not only that, because Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian leader, was rejected by Donald Trump. His visa was refused by Donald Trump to come to the United Nations in New York. There was a vote in the United Nations to have him address the United Nations via video link. Jamaica was nowhere to be found or seen during that voting. Why is Andrew Holness sucking up to Israel when that is not what Jamaica wants? The people of Jamaica and the people of Israel has nothing in common. The people of Jamaica do not like colonizers. The people of Jamaica stand against colonism. The people of Jamaica fought under Michael Manley hard against apartheid. Do you not understand that, Andrew Holness? That's why we need to wake up in the Jamaicans. Our government cannot be fostering relationship with a country like Israel. What is the benefit to Jamaica in any way, economically or otherwise, other than spying? Other than spying, what is the benefit in our relationship with Israel and Jamaica? Does anyone know? Other than spying, what benefit is there in a relationship with Israel and Jamaica? Because just like Jamaica, Israel don't have shit in its backside. America cut off its funding tomorrow. Israel collapse. America cut off its funding tomorrow. Israel collapse. Why Andrew Holness, beyond the people of Jamaica's knowledge, beyond the people of Jamaica say so, Andrew Holness alone is having a relationship with Benjamin Netanyahu? Even that's not what the people wanted in Jamaica. Even when the people of Jamaica wants to show solidarity to Palestine, it is not Andrew Holness's agenda. So who is Andrew Holness loyal to? Is Andrew Holness loyalty to Israel or to Jamaica? I can't just the little spy software alone. You just throw up the country in the ear to Benjamin Netanyahu, so that you cannot call out a genocide. You cannot criticize the overreach of Benjamin Netanyahu in the so-called self-defense. You cannot vote with the people of Palestine. You cannot vote for an end to oppression. This is not what Jamaica represents, Andrew Holness. So you alone is taking Jamaica in your family organization. And it is exactly how you run Jamaica. Like the family organization that you and your wife have it to be. Jamaica don't want, the people of Jamaica does not want a relationship with the state of Israel. Certainly not, we don't. We're not going to be a party to the genocide. When we do not support the starving of children, we do not support the wanton killing of children. So the relationship with Andrew Holness alone is having with Israel, we need to question it. We owe Israel no loyalty. There's no economic success for Jamaica having a relationship with Israel. So we as a people, we need to keep an eye upon what a guan round with. What Andrew Holness a draw with inner, what deal Andrew Holness a sign round with, we ought to keep our eyes open. And at the same time, all Andrew Holness got the UN go do is talk tough and beg, you know. But the tough talking, like me and Motley them, what Andrew Holness did for do. Andrew Holness never have the balls to do them a type of tough talking, yeah.
It all seems, in the words of Chinua Achebe, to be falling apart. When we lack truth and we lack trust, law becomes theater, news becomes spectacle, and science becomes just another opinion. As I've had cause to say in this great hall on a few times, our world today worryingly resembles the world of 100 years ago. And this has become even more evident with the closing of our borders to both goods and to people. This has magnified the geopolitical tensions which had already taken root. Disturbingly, war regrettably has only entered the daily lexicon of the West, not when thousands were dying on the continent of Africa or in Myanmar, but when war came to Europe. Nevertheless, we still call for peace in the Ukraine. Only yesterday, a leading British newspaper reminded us that for 500 days, 260,000 people, virtually the population of my country, 260,000 people have been trapped in the Sudanese city of El Fasher. The article reported that while political progress stalls, those who attempt to escape are killed, and those who remain inside are starved. The world must not ignore the horror in Sudan. And of course, I don't need to remind you that it must not ignore the horror in Gaza.
Andrew Holness cannot speak like that. What Andrew Holness goes off on is useless rhetoric that means nothing. Something when nobody now go listen to. Something when nobody now go take serious, like his climate change rant, when the same America where you hand out your hand to the money to fight climate change is the same America under Donald Trump pull out of the climate change agreement. It's the same America where you are going to stretch out your hand to, because you know, shit now yourself the hand in Andrew Holness to fight climate change where you are threatening. You work on threatening climate change and you don't have money to fight climate change. And the same America where you plan for, you know, you got the UN with your hand hang out, you know. You got the UN with your hand hang out long so like a labor rights belly. And you got the talking tough gimmicks, one could call it. A global war and gang. With what resources, what expertise, what intelligence, because of you and you know. Because when Marco Rubio come to Jamaica, you say the same thing. So it look like anytime you see foreign people, you can't only talk about climate change and global war and gang. What can Jamaica contribute to any of those two things that Andrew Holness is blowing hot air about? Thinking America not interested in it, because you know you have to beg America to make up to do what you want to do, and then you go turn round, thief out of it, and tell we say, I work hard and get rich. I work hard and get rich, Andrew Holness.
Right now, you left papers the size of this room of good ideas that have never been implemented, roads that have never been finished, buildings and hospitals that have not been repaired, but budget approved and voted. It's in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline. And in the midst of that pipeline, procurement, corruption, and preferential procurement, looting and stealing is happening. How does a minister walks into a government with 50,000 shillings become a millionaire in 2 years with a salary that can't afford 3 pairs of shoes? Where does he get the money from? Any government minister who becomes a millionaire after being to a government office is a thief.
That's true. That's very true.
There's no millionaire who becomes a millionaire through government salaries. I make that statement loud and clear. If you walk up into your parliament right now, you left papers the size of this room of good ideas.
So Andrew Holness is a thief, isn't it? Because other than being a politician, Andrew Holness has never worked a day in our life. And Andrew Holness becomes a billionaire or a millionaire. So we know Andrew Holness is a thief. Not even a millionaire. Andrew's a billionaire. Because remember I said, nearly $500 million did run through the account. There were people just got cash point, go put in the money in an account. So, yes, we know Andrew is a thief because Andrew Holness never do any work a day in their life other than politics. That one you look company. Christopherson sound alarm on Caribbean health crisis. Like seriously, Christopherson. Seriously, Christopherson. Then in a Gleaner article, in another Gleaner article, where is the dear old Daisy? In another Gleaner article, Christopherson is saying that there should be direct hiring of Cuban healthcare worker as opposed to, I would assume, because I haven't read the article to be honest, as opposed to hiring them through the Cuban state is a way to avoid exploitation. So would Tufton be admitting exploitation something when a gossip him just admitting something to appease Donald Trump and Marco Rubio? But why is Christopherson drawing in the Caribbean in a Ingalangin? A Jamaica in a health crisis, Christopherson? Christopherson, if you're not aware, Jamaica is the one in health crisis, not the Caribbean. Jamaica government urged to hire Cuban workers directly to prevent forced labor. So is Christopherson saying that the Cuban state use their healthcare workers as forced labor? And is Christopherson allowed to go around the Cuban government and hire them? I don't know. But one thing I would like to say to Tufton, stop drawing the Caribbean in the health crisis. Jamaica is the one which has been in a health crisis under your leadership for quite some time now. Jamaica is in a health crisis for quite some time now. You're the minister who's been repairing one hospital for 8 years now. 8 years. One hospital is under repair. And it is a possibility that we will go through this another 5 years. And it will suck up more money year on year. And we still don't get an operational hospital. By the way, anybody know we're going to Parliament today? Nobody know if they report them table coming never watch Parliament and me not say nothing in the media. Nobody know we're going to Parliament today. And if they report table, or Juliet put them on her chair and sit down upon them, Juliet take them make cushion. But me don't know what Christopher talk about Caribbean health crisis. More of a Jamaican health crisis. And if the Caribbean is moving into a health crisis, it still largely would be to do with Jamaica, because Jamaica have expertise in the Caribbean that other Caribbean countries don't have. And if Jamaica is falling, no, it wasn't tabled. Thank you, Opal. And if Jamaica is falling behind, then though that would be a risk to the Caribbean if other people come to Jamaica to have operation, especially children specialists care and there's something there. So that would be a crisis extend to the Caribbean. But talk about the health crisis, Christopton, that you have led for 9 years now. Talk about the amount of baby die under your leadership because of lack of care. Talk about the amount of Jamaicans. Dr. Roger Hunter told us 15,000 per year. So no come job blanket statement panwe and I tell we about the Caribbean. Tell we about Jamaica that we're concerned about. And we lay down on floor and we sleep on bench for days. And we come there and no get no care and have to go back home. And we die waiting to receive care. So don't come and tell us about crisis looming in the Caribbean healthcare. Crisis looming in Jamaica's health. No, not even looming. Jamaica's healthcare is in actual crisis mode. Oh, today was orientation in Parliament. I never even watched them today. Jamaica as a country is in a crisis mode. And that's how we ought to view it. Which is a fool me want to talk about. Now let's go back to the Jamar story, because we all ought to be outraged. Hold on. We all ought to be outraged. And if you don't outrage, me not irritated until you become outraged, because you feel outrage. When you say you're not safe in your house, you have to either outrage or alarm. But the Patsy, Kevin Blake, you see, a lot of Jamaica parables coming to us. You know the swap black dog for monkey? You know the jump out a frying pan and jump in a fire? It's precisely that we get, when we think to say Gugu Gaga was a disastrous person. Look what we changed Google Gaga for. It better Google Gaga did it and couldn't string a few sentences together. But this year one year will come with the DR title. He come with blood upon his hand, blood upon his shoulder, and vengeance in his heart. Because from Kevin Blake come in a fashion, a wave of killing is going on, which is alarming. Even in the investigator is having it now with them. Because them police are not arrest and investigate and arrest anymore. Them police are just go out with the intention to kill and kill only. And then you have the commissioner turn around to want to bully us and bully civil liberty like Jamaicans for justice. We cannot tolerate these behavior where police can come in our house, can kill we, and then when we ask for safer policing, the commissioner come bully we, and I tell we say, I do things my way. If you don't like it, go through the door. Like literally.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I hope that you are doing well. May the Lord continue to bless you and happy Sunday. Now, I got up to an article very disappointed in the stance by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, right? They made it very clear that they will not be dictated to by the Jamaicans for Justice, nor the Independent Commission of Investigations as it relates to how they serve and protect Jamaica. They didn't say that verbatim, paraphrasing, but essentially that's what they're saying. Now, I have a few concerns. One, whether or not you believe that these organizations are ruffling your feathers, like it or not, these statements are a reflection of what the Jamaican people are saying, right?
Somebody said no sound. Wanna not hear? I think maybe I just Simone. Let me continue playing.
And whether it's on social media, which plays a major part in our democracy, it gives the average citizen a voice to weigh in on public conversations regarding matters of governance, or through formal submissions, they represent what the masses are saying. You
Thanks,
cannot
John.
disregard
Thanks, Debbie.
these organizations or any other person or any other group as it relates to how you should serve and protect us. So we shouldn't have a say in how you serve and protect us. That's a blunder, JCF. But I am looking at an overarching problem. Now, it brings me to an article that I saw some time ago. Now, I remembered when the General Secretary for the Jamaica Labour Party made a similar stance. Now, for those who love to read and love literature like me, the tone is very similar. It's very dismissive. Listen, you cannot talk to me. I am the one in charge. Me are the big bad wolf. How dare you try to oppose me? If memory serves me correctly, I believe somebody very senior in the same political party said that they don't need an opposition. Another very senior member in the same political party said that they will never surrender Jamaica to the PMP. This sets a dangerous precedent in our country, so much so that the JCF can feel as if they are not accountable to the people.
We must stand up and hold our public officials accountable. The words of the Prime Minister carries weight. The words of the Prime Minister carries weight. And when the Prime Minister goes around and tells the security service the way you approach crime fighting is
The 15th of September.
you weigh up the options and decide if you want to take them in or you want to execute them yourself. Those words carry weight. And in my view, the brutality or the recent step up of the brutality coming from the police, particularly what we see in Jamar's case, is on the wording coming from the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security. All of us ought to be outraged. All of us ought to be outraged because what happened to Jamar Ferguson can happen to any one of us at any time. We are powerless to these monsters, but with unity, we're more powerful than them. We cannot be controlled by fear, my people. If fear gets the better of us, the tyranny from the government is going to be worse. Now is the best time to stand up against barbarity. With the behavior of Andrew Holness, you don't want your leader to be fostering a relationship with a dangerous person like Israel, like Benjamin Netanyahu. You really don't want your leader to be fostering relationship with such a person when we see that Andrew Holness have no respect for life like Benjamin Netanyahu, have no respect for law like Benjamin Netanyahu. At times we focus. The gimmicks is over, Jamaica. Focus on the heat to come. Going forward won't be easy, it won't be pretty. But if you prepare yourself, you may be able to navigate through it. I'm not impressed by our behavior. We just still sit down and wait past something from somewhere that will not appear at any time soon. And you're all wasting a lot of time. But one thing I know that we ought to be outraged. Not just be outraged in silence. We have to break away from the fear. Otherwise, we are going to go back on the plantation comfortably.
The 15th of September was a dangerous day in Jamaica, a day we must never forget. What about the 15th of September? I'm going somewhere. 23 police officers went down to Cherry Tree Lane with a blank warrant, wrong name, wrong house. When the police went to that address, they had one intention. Because who don't know when you go on them type of operation, you're going to parade and you are given special instruction. And I can tell you, it is my belief that they got instruction from the person in charge of the operation. Said this operation your name, we not care nobody go jail. This operation is dubbed straight to the mark. Hence,
They knocked the door of Jamar Ferguson. They knocked this door. Jamar Ferguson reached home 2:34, eating a patty. Went upstairs 2:38. The police came at the door, him see them on the camera. Him let them in 2:56. And this is where it get tricky. He come down in a black marina with his phone in his hands. He surrendered as he opened the door. The police came in. 23 police on the operation. Them later lead him to a room, and the reports are, when them have him in the room, him stretch in the clothes them for draw a gun, and 2 policemen fire 2 shots each. Me I think about the number. 2 police fire 2 shots each. Me say ask, wanna fire them 2 shots there same time, or 1 police fire before 1? 2 shots each, killing Jamar Ferguson. I can safely say now, after 10 days of waiting and watching the video and coming to an independent conclusion, the police murdered Jamar Ferguson in cold blood. What happened at Cherry Tree was nothing short of extrajudicial killing. 23 police. The thing is, none of them is innocent. The 23 police is guilty and should be charged for murder. Nobody in that squad said no. Everybody have the same story. It was a shootout. Had it not been this camera, we would not have known. We might would have believed that in fact it was a shootout. Thanks to the camera. The police refused to wear body camera. The high command of the police with the minister of security refused that the police wear cameras and these operations. And this is the reason why. 22 years old, gunned down in his own house, a working individual, a taxpayer, an innocent victim, murdered by members of security forces. The police tampered with the crime scene. If the shooting is clean, why on the turn camera? Why on the plug out Wi-Fi? This was a Hollywood type of murder. Murder and fix the crime scene same time. How long, how much more? How much more Jamar Ferguson have there been? I keep asking, how much more will they be? What happened September 15, you know? Make no mistake. Could happen anywhere else. Any local ghetto. Everybody will have boy pitney must take this thing out as an indictment against the innocent civilian. It can't continue. And what surprised me, that after 10 days, nothing from the Minister of Security, nothing from the Justice Minister, nothing from the Prime Minister, nothing from the churches, nothing from the private sector. Then I must understand that this is the way forward. Then, if the gunman come and knock your door, you don't let in the gunman kick off your door and murder you. If the police come and knock the door, you don't pull the door, the police kick off the door. And if the police come and call you and you come out and surrender, you can be taken back in the house and killed. It can't stand. This barbaric, this dangerous, this wickedness can't stand. Somebody have to pay. Somebody have to be taking police out of frontline duties here and there now, you know. That is with that damn ship stay a long time now, you know. At time to head road now, somebody have to answer. In the come of too much investigation, too much other case to deal with. We have 23 murderers now. Just in a stations with gun. He can't stand. These 23 police is 23 low life, 23 murderer, half a flush out of the system. It's as simple as that. You kill him, you turn in camera, you plug out Wi-Fi, you leave with camera, you fix the crime scene, you plant a gun. How much more? We're next. Because we're not going to go up at Cherry Garden and Beverly Hills and in the poor little place we're not going to go. Where else? Who else going to suffer because a wicked policeman and woman? They can't stand.
And we shouldn't allow it to stand. We shouldn't be quiet about this issue. Or is it that you don't see the seriousness of it? Are we going to have to come out here and still bark every day for you to understand how serious this is? What has come to light from the video evidence should have you trembling. when you know that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to commit any crime to lose your life. Your life is in the hands of a few police officers. Ask yourself the question, if we have 23 police officers who are murderers in just one incident, oops, sorry. Given the amount of young men murdered by the police, I wonder how much of our police are murderers. And ask yourself the question, this special force who murdered Jamar, is this their first illegal murder? I wouldn't want to think so. And the reason why I wouldn't want to think so is because of how they did their job, even though they got caught, mind you. What they did on that scene, even though they know there was video evidence to capture something, because it is the reason why they turn around the camera, why they move the camera. Imagine another operation where they see nothing of such, when they can just operate with impunity, concoct their story, and the media run with it. And because it's the media is telling us, and the information comes from the police, it is automatically accepted to be the true. It is automatically expected to be the truth. Without the video evidence surfacing in Jamar's case, majority of Jamaicans would have accepted the police narrative that he pulled a gun at them or he fired at them. It would have been the accepted narrative. And we would be out here battling as to whether his killing was justified or not. Because, you know, there's always the family's story, and you have the security services story, which all the time there are discrepancies in the stories. But with the Jamar story, there are evidence, alarming, worrying, frightening evidence of how far our police officers will go to kill us and cover it up. That's the dangerous part in Jamaica. I know they just kill you part. Or the bad part, the dangerous part, is the part where after they killed you, they go at length to conceal the crime or to contaminate the crime scene. And you don't see the dangers lurking around you and your children them. Sooner and very late, Anybody can get drawn out of their house or out of their vehicle and get shot. Can you believe any narrative coming from the Jamaica Constabulary Force? When we see say, the Jamaica Constabulary Force going around with guns, planting guns on the victims they have assassinated. Jamaica, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. If you never thought before that we are in big problem, this situation should open up your eye wide, wide, wide. This is trouble. The dictatorship that these vloggers been speaking about, may I see it for myself now. Because these are the things that happens in dictatorship, where people just go missing. So government just take your care, you go missing. So government kill you in a broad daylight. So government security service become judge during execution. Oh no, see, this is Jamaica reach. Don't you all realize that is where Jamaica is? When you can be safe in your house from the police, not from criminal, mind you. Not from criminal, you feel threatened. The police come into your property and something beat and teach you and something what should I make you feel threatened? But given the information in front of us, you have to be worried when you're interacting with police in our country. You have to. Because then we kill you and then we put an illegal gun on you. Have you ever wondered why Dr. Chang imports so much illegal guns into the country? Have you ever wondered why Dr. Chang? Why is the reason? What is the reason for Dr. Chang illegal gun importation into the country? Ask yourself where these police officers are get these guns from. So when they shoot down these innocent young men, them put these things, hold on there, pan them. Hold on. Oh, I need a murder again. Hold on the globalist. Me need to go quiet. Me go screen record something quickly to bring it to now. Hold on there. They shot him in the broad daylight. We can't manage. I really cannot manage because you see, police brutality, the worst thing you can do in police brutality is to sit back in fear and think better will come. That's the worst way to deal with police brutality, is to sit back and think, if I'm silent enough, I will be safe from the tyranny. That's the worst thing to do. It's just a matter of time before it catch up with you. It's just a matter of time before it catch up with you. The more we unite and stand against this brutality, then we have to treat with better. But when we sit back in the slave mentality and behave as if these people are our masters, they're going to take power inch by inch from us. Our very own, I go put we back on the plantation in Jamaica. Our very own, I go put we back on the plantation. Don't think our white people are going to do it this time. So if I that uno sit down and wait for, if I that uno sit down and wait for, you're all going to be hijacked when you find out, say, your very own black leader is leading you right back into slavery. And Holness and William Ruto is two of the clearest examples we have to work with at the moment. The young people of Kenya has awoken to who William Ruto is. Is Jamaica young people really aware of the tyrant that Andrew Holness is? This is another killing in Westmoreland. Only hope we can get more video footage from the Westmoreland incident if they are out there. But I go to my bed now because my eye them feel tired and shut down-ish. But we cannot let the slaying of Jamar Ferguson go in silence. We cannot let it go unnoticed. What happened to one can happen to all. What one is subjected to, all can be subjected to. When we wave silence to brutality, we're giving a green light to it. We're saying it's okay. We're saying it doesn't bother me. I'm not offended by it. We cannot and we should not succumb to the violence from the security services. We must not be badgered into fear, because the more fearful we become, it's the more of our power we're going to lose. And you don't want to be powerless in front of tyrannies, of tyrants rather, like Andrew Holness, Donald Trump, and Benjamin Netanyahu. If there wasn't a time when Jamaica should rise to the occasion, this is that perfect time. And we must ask our Prime Minister, who are you loyal to? The state of Israel or the state of Jamaica? We must ask those questions. We must. All right? I go sleep now, my eye them tired. Anyway, globalists, thank you all for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support. If you're new to the program, please give us a follow. So when we go live, you certainly will get our notification. Make sure you hit the like button on whichever platform you are watching on. And please do join us back tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Thank you very much, and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, the God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out and sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, bring him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black, bring him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.